For the last 35 years, Worrell has been designing medical technologies. And in the last 4 or 5 years specifically, we've been in hundreds of patients' homes. We've been in scores of hospitals and clinics. And one salient pattern that's emerged is the information imbalance between the patient and the physician relationship. So we decided to do something about it. We brought a thought-leading patient and a frontline physician directly into our design process to address that imbalance. Because we know that focusing on the human experience leads to breakthrough products.
I have an implantable device, and one of the things that I realized that when I got my device about 2.5 years ago was that there was a very apparent gap in between the providers of the care and patients like me. It is about access, and it is about helping patients make sense of the information. Doctors, for lack of time, declining reimbursements, or whatever the reasons are, can't really provide patients with the time it takes to educate us.
I've been very fortunate. I grew up in a low-income community, and I was able to come back to the community and bring technology and devices that save lives. If you ask a physician, do you understand your patient, they think they do, but they really don't. Doing an ethnographic study and going into a patient's home, it's a better way to gauge what are the needs. As an electrophysiologist, I have these barriers that I didn't want to go into my patient's home and find out because I deal with life and death so often.
Go spend some time with a real human being and their loved ones and see how they're experiencing the world. It's sobering, and sometimes it's inspiring, but it always brings back information that we can act on.
Everyone complains that the costs of healthcare are too high, and yet no one will invite patients into this equation and ask for our participation. Patients are willing to participate. I don't want to be treated as an educated consumer of healthcare. I am making the choices.
So we surrounded Dr. Ongab and Hugo with a variety of disciplines within the design process to come up with constructive solutions for some of their competing needs.
I want to know his blood pressures, I want to know what the sensors are showing, I want to know what his medications are, I want to know when his last procedure was. I want that stuff.
I called and I said, I want all my records. I want copies of everything. I want copies of the x-rays that you took. And so they said to me, oh, sure, can you please go to our website, download the form, sign it, and fax it to us. I said, I don't even have a fax machine. What is this, 1995? I don't think of myself as the patient of the future. It is the perspective of the providers that puts me in this box of the patient of the future. I'm a patient of the present. This is real. I am perfectly active in my healthcare. I just don't have the tools.
This communication really has to happen. I think some of us clinicians are advocating this for our patients. We're saying we're doing it for our patients, but sometimes hearing it from your patient advocating it for themselves is more powerful.
There are a bunch of people out there who are blogging about their experiences, who are talking about device brands, who are talking about treatments. The internet has provided so much value.
We have yet to find a solution that can bring records from this hospital, records from this office, to one center place, and that everybody can share. What Worrell does is takes it a step further. And it's so common in healthcare, they give us a pill, they design a pill, and like, here's our pill. But now when you're doing technology, you have to design some technology that's gonna be in someone's home, be a part of someone's life, be part of a physician's way of practice. What we have is technology, we have this World Wide Web, and yet we can't even tell what medications I'm supposed to be taking. 5 years from now, it should be accessible to you real time. You'd be so amazed at how many times people see a different doctor the same day. So if you have real-time changes to an electronic prescription, then you could avoid that. If we had as simple as a card going, hey, go to this website, start your search here. We don't have that. The patient will have to do his own search. Why couldn't there be a place where we just say, okay, start here?
There can be. All I'm saying is it's not going to be the only place that I'm going.
Right. See, the physicians have this barrier. We have this language barrier that the lay people don't know. But in this whole world of consumerism, if they're going to make informed decisions, let's inform them in a way that they can understand. And let's give them a site that they can go to, because I don't have anything.
What if it's like when you read Shakespeare, you have the newer versions where it has like Shakespearean language, and literally right next to it,
This is interesting.
modern translation.
This is actually fantastic.
The key is not to invent a new thing, but to connect all these other pre-existing components in a very new, novel way.
It's sort of like your health homepage for a patient.
The novelty of having it all in one place is that these things are talking to one another and informing one another. So the changes in your health condition are informing what's happening with the search engine aggregator. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's an algorithm that runs between the two of those. So as you have changes, it's offering you information that's searching the World Wide Web and bringing that in, hopefully to educate and serve you.
What this exercise is really doing is just bringing up what we all want and what we need. What platform is going to be there 5 years from now? You know, the hope would be that the patient would have their patient information accessible to them at any time. I think the thing is you have to have this communication because we're all on the same team. It's just a matter of a design that everybody can live with.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, it really is about quality of life, because if you're empowering somebody to manage their health care, that puts me at ease. I'm in the loop whether I should worry or not worry. It's very practical.
It's a crazy time. It's exciting. It really is exciting.
The people that actually are impacting the way that healthcare is delivered, when we bring them together and they can see the inherent conflicts and their competing needs, and then pair those with design solutions, that's where I think we break through and create novel and efficacious offerings.
It really doesn't require just two people. It requires everybody involved.
What we hear routinely from medical device manufacturers is that they cannot innovate without close collaboration with physicians, which is absolutely true. In the future, though, we're going to have to do a much better job of considering the needs of different stakeholders, hospital administrators, payers, and to be sure, we're going to have to incorporate the voice of patients.
I think this dialogue is the beginning of the creation of something that's going to change healthcare, that's going to give everybody access, and this is just the beginning of something that may fix our failed healthcare system.